Hello, everyone. As promised, I wanted to structure this video to speak more on how to be in a better position than you are now, especially when dealing with unnecessary debts. So the first thing that we need to do as a people is understand how much we are making. Do we need to make more money? That's number one. Planning and budgeting all of our expenses out. So if you use a credit card, the first thing I would like you to do is look at all of your expenses from this month and your previous month. I want you to have 60 days worth of expenses. Which expenses were necessary? And when I mean necessary, I'm talking gas to get to work. I'm talking food to put in your system. Not food that you ate outside, but food that you needed from the grocery store in order to make so that you can pack lunch to go outside. And one thing I want to ensure is that we're not making excuses when we're planning and budgeting, right? I know a lot of people who will tell me, hey, Festus, there is absolutely no way that I can make a lunch every single day to go to work. I work too long. I'm way too busy. I got streaming. I got this and that. I got so many other things. I got to walk my dog. I got a girlfriend. I got a boyfriend, whatever the case may be. You understand? And so what I will tell people is, hey, I work about 60 hours a week. On top of that, on top of managing others, I have to manage my properties. I have to manage my investments. I have to manage my relationships. I don't know too many people who have to work 60 hours a week and do all those things, right? Hey, Festus, but I have children. I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. Okay, that's understandable, right? We all have to make time for our children. But in making time for your children, that does not mean that you can't cook a meal that takes 30 minutes to an hour to cook. And there are some things that don't require that much time. So whether it be you simply saying, you know what, I'm not a cook, I can't cook. In order for me to sacrifice and meet my daily goals, I'm also going to have to sacrifice in what I actually eat. So for the whole month, I'm eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It takes me 5 minutes to make, and when I get home, I'll eat something better. All right? Or for the whole month, I'm eating rice and chicken. I'll make a whole pot, and that's what I'm going to eat for 7 or 8 days. Right? So guys, I don't just make food every single day. No. Sometimes I make a pot of rice and chicken that will last me for 4 days. Sometimes I'll make a pot of pasta or tuna casserole that might last me 5 days. Sometimes I'll make some Alfredo pasta or some, I don't know, chicken sandwiches or whatever it is that will last me 5 days. Sometimes I'll have some prepackaged meals like, I don't know, chicken patties. All you got to do is heat it up in the microwave. I don't even, like, it's horrible to heat up chicken patties in the microwave, right? You rather put it in the oven, let it cook, things like that. But hey, when you're busy, when you don't got the time, that's what I do. A lot of the times I skip breakfast. And a lot of people are like, wow, how can you skip breakfast? How can you not? And, I don't deal with a lot of the problems that this generation deals with in terms of coffee. I don't drink coffee. So I don't understand the significance of it and how much it is needed. So I feel you on that. Okay, you need your cup of coffee. How long does it take to make coffee? It doesn't take that long. It takes 5 minutes of your time. All right. Here's a good rule to set up. So every time I go to sleep, I do 20 push-ups. Every time I wake up, I do 20 push-ups. That's 40 push-ups a day, and that's the minimum, right? If I challenge you to wake up 10 minutes early just to start your cup of coffee, or just to write down in your planner, this is how much I spent today, on a calendar or on your phone, iPhone, or whatever you use, right? This will help instill in you what you're doing better and what you're not doing in order to get to your goals. Where are you spending that you shouldn't be spending, and who is not supporting you in your habits and what you want to do, right? There are going to be friends that say, hey, man, just eat out this one time with me, or come out with me. Let's do this. Let's do that. Hey, let's go for drinks. Let's do this and let's do that. Listen, I tell people all the time, listen, I'm saving. I don't got no money right now. I can't do X, Y, and Z, right? And when you don't have money, it can feel horrible to say that. But when you do have money, to me at least, it feels amazing to be able to say no. No, I don't want to spend my money on that. Instead of, no, I don't have the money to do that. There's a big difference. There's a big difference in not having and not wanting to do something, right? And so when I say no, I say it from a place of confidence because I know I have the cash. It's just that it's not in the goals. It's not in the plan, right? So the first thing you need to do is form a budget. Second thing you need to do is stick to the budget and not overspend on unnecessary expenses. So one thing that I did was I cut out sugary foods. I cut out cookies. I cut out all these things that I did not need. I cut out dining out for a period of time. I cut out all the things that I knew I was spending more money on that I could have made at home. Popeye's chicken, well, I can make chicken myself. Cornbread, I can make cornbread myself. African restaurants, I can make African food myself. Hey, a girl wants to go out to eat. Listen, let's have a dinner date. Let's have a movie night. If they like you, guess what they're going to do? They're going to come and enjoy the dinner dates. They're going to come and enjoy the movie nights. And sometimes those were expensive too. There was sometimes when you provide wine, listen, you can spend almost $200 by the time you go through 4 bottles of wine, right? So sometimes it was more expensive to stay home. But listen, through those experiences, you also understand that, wow, I did that once. Let's not do that again. This time, let's try it this way. This time, let's do X, Y, and Z, right? And instead of a $200 date, now it's a $15 date or a $30 date. And these are simple things that you can do in order to improve your interactions with people, your behaviors with people, make them more accustomed to the lifestyle that you want to live, even if it's just for a season, right? Even if it's just for 4 months, 5 months. This helps you get out of the pickles that you're in and allows you to improve. Now, if you are 21 or older and you are working for less than $40,000 a year, it is definitely time to increase your income. The reason why I say 21 and older is because, one, you've probably finished college or just about, or you have 3 to 4 years of work experience because you've been working since you were 18 or 17 years old. Because of that, you are no longer someone who should be working for minimum wage, especially if you're watching this channel, right? So we're looking to grow our careers. We're looking to grow and do something better. Maybe go into sales if you like sales and cars and I don't know, loans and things like that. That is a job where you can make 60, 70, 80, 100,000 a year selling things, right? Commission-based jobs, which structure I might add. I don't like commission-based jobs with no structure. So for example, I was working as a general manager at Tim Hortons, making $53,000 a year. I was working long hours, probably 60 hours a week. I was probably making like $18 an hour if I was hourly at that point, right? So $53,000 working 60 to 70 hours a week, working from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. some days, not really ever having a day off. But I switched over to Chase Bank. Why did I go to Chase Bank? Chase Bank, the most convenient bank. That's what you hear advertised on TV, right? And then it was a commission-based structure to be a home lending advisor. And so I felt that with a $38,000 salary, which is guaranteed, on top of a commission-based structure, me being a manager and managing people, I should be able to manage myself and sell and excel in that job space, which I did. Instead of making $53,000 at Tim Hortons, I was now making $65,000 a year at Chase. because of that structure, because of that commission base, because of what they already offered in terms of benefits, I was in a much better position. I did not work the weekends, and my life was tremendously improved. Now, what did happen with that? Now in sales, you're typically around people who are making a lot of money very, very fast. And so what do they want to do? They want to go out, they want to eat, they want to hang out, they want to spend a lot of time with you. And so some of that money does go out the door when you're investing in your relationships. Notice I said investing in my relationships. That's a topic for another day. But you also have to understand what is right for you, right? The people with families were actually saving a lot of money. Hey, I got a daughter I got to pick up. Hey, I got X, Y, and Z. I can't stay out. And everybody understood. So at that time, I was like, wow, you might spend $500 on childcare. You might spend an extra $200 a month on food, probably $700 a month. I'm probably spending that on relationships right now. So I might as well have a child, right? But these people were saving a lot of money because they had children. And, as a young adult, you also have to understand that when you are intellectually inclined, when you speak very well and you can articulate yourself, and when you have experience in management and these other facets, and you have proven that you can handle high stress environments. I mean, you're managing your time, you're managing yourself, you're managing others, and now you're managing your own businesses. People are going to want you to be in charge of their businesses, right? People are going to want you to be in charge of their operations. And when you have that time to give because you don't have no children, you don't got nothing holding you back, they're going to use you as much as they possibly can. They're going to get you to do everything that they don't want to do. If the store needs to be open at 5 a.m., they're going to call you first to open that store at 5 a.m. That's your job title. That's who you are. That's what you are to this business. You are the worker who gets paid the most to work the most in order to get things done. And so me knowing I don't have children, me knowing that I'm young, me knowing that they want to pay me as little as possible to do the most amount of work, I needed to take advantage of the high pay, even in the small time that I was given, in order to maximize my opportunities, which led me into real estate. But before getting into that again, you want to budget. You want to be good with your finances. If you're making less than $40,000 a year, you need to increase that income, right? You need to find what you're passionate about, find what you're interested in, pursue that, see what that's paying, how much does it cost to enter that industry, if it costs anything, how long does it take to get into that industry, if it takes any time, and then apply, face and deal with those rejections, and then meet at a common space, in a common place where is right for you to be successful. For example, I tried to get into human resources several times. When I applied for jobs, I applied for 200, 300 jobs, right? But it didn't work out. I got probably 2 jobs that called me back for an additional round of interviews. And then after speaking to me or not speaking to me, they never called back for human resources. With that being said, I'm a manager. They wanted somebody who was on the ground. When I applied for manager jobs, I was flooded with emails, flooded from left to right to left to right. Everybody wanted this young guy who had managed these high-paced restaurants, these high-paced logistics centers, these intense metrics with millions of dollars in volume. Everybody wanted that experience. Everybody wanted that young, edgy guy who's ready to improve, elevate, and reach the top, right? And so my experience played a part in that as well. My youth played a part in that as well. My energy played a part in that as well. So when you're thinking about what space you want to go into, understand where can I also maximize my income and where am I wanted, right? When I applied for my manager job, I had 3 job offers at the same time and 2 more pending. So I was obviously in high need for managerial positions. However, when it came to human resources, I was neglected completely. Nobody wanted me. And, Everything is fine. Everything takes its time. Everything takes its course. And what's for you will be for you. But it's also important to understand, I have friends who would say, I would never work at McDonald's. I would never work at Popeyes. I would never work retail, whatever the case may be, right? And for them, they may find a job that interests them or that is more suitable for them. However, the people who I've ever heard say that typically don't find the jobs that they want to be in, typically don't find jobs that pay a lot of money, typically don't. And why is that? Because they neglect their opportunities when it's presented, right? Getting your foot in the door only allows you to build upon that entry point, build upon that space, and continue to move forward and progress through that company. Get managerial jobs, be promoted, and continue to increase your net worth exponentially, increase your income exponentially, right? So we don't want to deter opportunities, especially when we're so young, especially when you're capable, right? I've been told in 2021 and 2022 to kick my feet up and relax. I've been told to only do jobs that are more comfortable. I've been told to not go back into management. I've been told to not work my body, not work my mind, not work myself to death. I've been told all of these things that are of no consequence to me. I'm young, I'm fit, I'm ready, right? And so when I'm motivated, I need to maximize that. I need to maximize my opportunities and get as much money as possible, because at 25, I'm not going to get my 25-year-old salary back by taking a job that pays less today. I'm not going to get me being 25, me being 24, me being 23 back again. I can always kick my feet up later. But right now it's time to grind. Right now it's time to hustle. Whoever needed to hear that, you're hearing it. Because I wasn't hearing that. And I had to get back on that grind myself, because I knew something was missing. And what was missing? What was missing was that passion, that hunger, that readiness to attack each and every single situation and be the best version of myself, maximize my opportunities, maximize my potential, maximize my output, put forth the best effort, and get paid what I deserve, right? So when you got that budget, when you start cutting back on those debts, you start paying off those debts to now increase that income, increase that cash flow that you have from your job, and you continue to pay off those debts, which lowers your debt limits and allows you to now invest in either stocks, real estate, or whatever you're passionate about. And so now that you've budgeted, now that you've decreased your debts, now that you've cut out unnecessary expenses, now that you've increased your income, we can focus on what do you want to do, what benefits do you want to get out of life, and the action plans to achieve that. What is your 1 year goal? What is your 2 year goal? What is your 5 year goal? You understand? What is your 10 year goal? So for me, I don't really have a 10-year goal. Let's be honest. I don't have a 10-year goal. Typically, my goals are 1 or 2 years out. 1 to 2 years out. My 5-year goal, can't even think that far. Why? Because I'm always planning something. I'm always trying to improve my life every single year. And in doing so, that 5-year goal, it gets completely erased. Because if you set a goal to be debt-free in 12 months, guess what? You'll probably get there in 9 months. That's how crazy things are. If you set a goal and you're actionable about it, you're going to get there in 9 months rather than 12. If you set a goal to own a house in 2 years, you'll probably get there in a year and a half. And that's been my story. That's been my case, right? So when I set a goal for a year or two, I typically get there a lot faster. And because of that, setting a 5-year plan, it will be completely annihilated in 3 years. So there's no reason for me to set a 5-year plan knowing that I'm going to run straight through that. So set a plan, be actionable, take care of your debts, set a budget, stop eating out, tell your friends, and find the right friends to put around you in order to assist you within your process, in order to support you within your process. Remember, I told my real estate agent I was done drinking for some time. This man was drinking every single day. This man was celebrating life every single day. And he decided to cut drinking from his life. He just had a kid. He was just married. and he wanted to hit the gym. He wanted to lose weight. This man did a complete 360, and his life is better according to him. He's happier because of it, right? And it was all from me saying, man, I'm done drinking. That's all I said. And for him, that was a complete game changer for him. That completely reshaped his mind. And he said, one thing he said to me is, hey, I told all my friends I was done drinking, and they all supported me. If they hadn't, I would have just cut them out of my life. But they all celebrated the fact that I was done drinking and that I wanted to get in shape, right? So that just tells you the quality of friends that he had around him that would support him and not be like, oh man, you're not going out to the bars with us tonight. Make sure you have quality people around you that are going to support your new ambitions, your new actions, and support your growth in a positive way. When you have all of those things, you will surely be successful, and you're surely in the right company.